Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit dangerous. We're going to be flying our drone through some really tight spaces. So if you guys are a beginner pilot watching this, make sure you're comfortable flying your drone because this can definitely lead to some bad crashes. Okay, so this video is going to be mainly geared towards DJI pilots, but these tips will probably apply to any drone that you own. So the first thing you want to do when you arrive at your site is that you want to calibrate your compass. Now you can easily do this by going into your settings app and going down to compass and calibrating it, but you want to make sure that you do this even if your compass is already calibrated. And all this does is that it just adds an extra layer of security to ensure that your drone knows where it is and what's around it. Next up, you want to make sure that you have a clear line of sight to whatever you're going to be flying through. And there's a really important reason why you want to do this. So generally when we fly our drones regularly, we're looking at the screen, we're looking up at the drone and we're trying to figure out where it is and we sort of fly it that way. When you're trying to fly through really tight spaces, you want to make sure that you're completely relying on your vision and looking where the drone is going. And the reason for that is that when we look at our screens, there's a little bit of latency. So things don't always happen immediately as they're happening in real time on your screen. So you want to be able to react as quickly as possible, and that's why you want a clear line of sight and not rely on your controller to fly and see where the drone is actually going. So let me show you guys where I'm going to be standing from my direct line of sight for the hole that I'm trying to fly through this video. Okay, so I just quickly stepped it aside to show you guys where I'm going to be standing. So that's the hole right there that I'm going to be trying to fly my drone through. And so I want to make sure that I'm clearly lined up with it and I can see where my drone's going to be flying and I can be right behind it just in case I need to make any last second adjustments or maneuvers as the drone is approaching the hole and is trying to fly through it. Okay, so now the last step in this setup process is that you actually want to turn off all obstacle avoidance. Now you can do this in any mode for newer DJI drones. You just go into the settings panel, you go under the first column and then you just go ahead and turn off the obstacle avoidance sensors. You can do this on older drones by just flipping it into sports mode, but that does introduce the risk of added speed, so you're gonna have to have a little bit more control when you're flying. Now you might be wondering, why the heck am I gonna turn off my sensors? Well, here's the reason why. When you're flying, you want to make sure you have 100% control over your drone. You want to make sure that there's no hiccups and the drone doesn't react in a way that you're not expecting, because that will definitely lead to a crash when you're trying to fly through any tight spaces. So make sure that you guys are comfortable flying your drone without any of the sensors on, because you're going to need to turn them off if you want to pull off flying through tight spaces. Okay, so now that we have all of our settings dialed in and we know exactly what to do, I'm going to show you guys the footage of me trying to fly through that hole that I showed you guys earlier. So here goes nothing except for a brand new drone, I guess. Check it out. And that's it guys. So luckily my drone was able to make it through the hole without any issues, but I just want to reiterate that this is something really dangerous to do with your drone, as I've seen tons of people trying to fly through tight spaces and just completely crash their drones. So make sure you guys are really familiar with your drone and you're comfortable flying it and you know what you're doing before you attempt something like this. On the plus side, you can definitely end up getting some really dynamic and some really unique looking shots that probably no one else has. So it's a really good way to set yourself apart if you're trying to do that with your cool drone maneuvers. As always, if you guys learned something from the video, please leave a like at the bottom of the page. Smash that like button. It really helps out the video. If you guys enjoyed hanging out with me and you want to do this again, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Other than that, that's all I have for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, keep creating.